Get ready with me while I talk about post-college anxiety as someone who recently graduated, who is dealing with a little bit of uncertainty and confusion and just kind of feeling a little bit lost. So yeah, I graduated in May of 2024, so just a few months ago, and up until recently, I was also unemployed. My long-term job, which I had for 2.5 years, actually ended shortly after I graduated. So that was a lot of change. And I also moved out of my apartment on campus, and I had plans to live with friends again this year because I thought I was going to get a second degree at my university. And as I was taking my summer classes, I started to have really severe panic attacks. I was taking these like high-level psychology classes because I was working towards a psychology degree, and I was a significant portion of the way done. But I was taking these classes having gotten a communications degree, which is very, very different, completely different style of class. And the style of learning that's required in a lot of psychology classes is not the way that I learn, and it's not the way that I work. It's also not super neurodivergent friendly. Like the pace of these classes and the expectations and the lack of leniency was really hard for me. So I kind of had a point where I was like, I'm not sure what I want to do with this degree. Why am I spending money and time on it if I'm not even sure that it will be put to use? So I decided not to continue with that degree. And so for the last few months, I've not been in school, and I've not been like a full-time worker. So yeah, not really having a significant routine to my life and being back home was really, really difficult. I kind of had to readjust because I've been a student for the past, 16, 17 years of my life, and it almost felt like a grief. Like it felt like there was just this hole in my life that I couldn't fill with anything, particularly as someone who loves to learn and as someone who realized that even though I'm introverted, just being in that social atmosphere of college and school was really helpful for me. It helped me get that interaction without really having to try. And that was really nice as a shy person. So not really having that daily interaction, I just felt really alone. And I felt kind of like I was just, drowning in my own thoughts, and I didn't have anything to do with them. I didn't have anything to put my focus and energy towards. I'm doing my makeup in the monitor of my camera, so if this turns out bad, that's why. It's because I have 3 inches to look at, and I can't see. Okay, it looks okay. I looked in the mirror. So yeah, I just felt like kind of this large sense of loss for a really long time. And I also felt like my standards for having a job out of college were so high because I was like, well, I have this great degree, I can do so many things with it. I'm now qualified for so many things that I wasn't qualified for before. And so as I was looking for jobs, I felt like I kind of had this unrealistic expectation that I needed to find the perfect job, that any job that was below my degree or experience level, wasn't, I shouldn't be applying for it because I wasn't going to get, what I needed out of it. And so there were a lot of jobs that I could have applied for that I didn't because I didn't feel like they were the right fit for me. And I think I got to a certain point where I was just like, I just need something to do. Something to do with my time. If it sparks a little bit of joy, that's great, but for the time being, I just need to at least try something so that I can know whether I like it or not. Fortunately, I did get a job fairly quickly after I came to this realization, and it has actually been incredible. I actually love this job, and I was so excited when I got it. and it's really not at all what I was expecting. It's a job that I had dreamed of, but I never like actually expected to have this kind of job and be able to do it full time. So that was really, really cool. And it does feel like a sense of kind of emptiness without school. But I'm realizing that I'm trying to reframe that mindset. Instead of thinking of it as emptiness, I'm trying to think of it as like new space. New space has opened up in my life, in my mind, in my heart, like in my time to find something else. Like college has given me these incredible skills and the ability to recognize what is good for me and what is not. And so with that empty space, I can use everything I learned in college to find what the next best thing is for me, or plural, the next best things. So I've talked to a lot of my friends, a lot of people who have graduated both recently and a long time ago, who all validated my decision to not continue with school when I wasn't sure what I was going to do with that degree. Every single person said, you did exactly what I would have done, or you did what I wished I would have done. I have friends who went on to get like master's and doctorates degrees who said, I wish I had taken that year, because academic burnout is real. Like, it's really real for several months. And even now, kind of like the thought of reading for fun makes me feel claustrophobic. Like, it makes my throat close up, because they have you read in many degrees, they have you read in such bulk amounts in college that it almost made me averse to reading for fun. I found myself reading a book the other day and I saw this thing and I was like, oh my God, that's a key point. Like, I need to write it down. And then I realized, oh, you're not in school anymore. You don't need to be doing that. And it's just something that's like, it's just hardwired into your brain, because if you don't do these things in college, for the most part, you don't pass. Like, you don't succeed in college. So it hardwires you to do these things, and it kind of takes a little bit to unteach yourself. There are also so many unhealthy habits I think a lot of people pick up in college, because it's such a production-based system. Like, your worth is based on what you put out into the world. Your worth in college is based on the scores you get, the way you write a paper, the amount of words you get. Like, it's very production based. I don't know how else to put it. That was also one of the things I learned in college, is a lot of these fears that I had because I studied things that were like important to me and that I was passionate about. I now kind of have like fact-based and data-based evidence to kind of validate how I'm feeling and what I'm going through. And because I took like psychology classes, I can understand, oh, like I'm feeling whatever way, like my dopamine is probably dropping a little bit, and I can understand the way myself and people around me like think and act. And so that was actually why I made this YouTube channel, is I was like, I have all this information and I want to do something with it. So yeah, I think honestly, as I'm talking, that college really can be a gift, and it can give you so many tools. Many of them are things that you don't even want or don't even think about. Like, when you're going into college, you think, oh, I'm gonna get this degree so I can like get a good job. I feel like that's why most people enter college. But really, I think it gives you so many skills, just like for interacting with people, for figuring out how you learn, the best way that you work. And I don't know, whether or not you can live with other people. I think there are so many things that are real tests during that time. And if you're observant during your time in college, then the time afterwards can be used to put towards something that will also further you as a person. Like, I don't think you have to be done growing once you finish your last bit of higher education. I think you can still continue learning and growing outside of that. So yeah, that's what I've tried to do with that sense of loss that I felt. I think honestly the first step can be talking about it, because they prepare you for like the job you get after college, but not much in college will prepare you for how you will feel when that last bit of your life is over. Like, it's a huge event. It's a huge like accomplishment to graduate, but it's also like, what do you do next? What are you supposed to do? Okay, this is really risky, putting lipstick on also while talking. What are you doing, Sydney? Good gravy. I don't know if what I said made any sense, but if you can relate, you're not alone at all. There are millions of us, I'm sure, every year. So yeah, my heart goes out to you, and I hope that you are able to find at least some type of action to put your energy towards if you're dealing with that type of anxiety.